For nearly 2 years, CBS 58 investigated claims against David Ward, also known as Pastor Dave. Ward ripped off customers, leading to multiple charges and convictions.
He is now on probation in Ozaukee and Winnebago counties, owes more than $40,000 to victims across the state. CBS 58's investigative reporter Kristen Barbarisi uncovered new details about his criminal past that's making prosecutors take a second look at him. Kristen.
Bill and Kate, after CBS Investigates reported David Ward was sentenced to probation in November, we got several calls from viewers saying they too are victims. So we looked deeper into who this guy is and found a criminal record prosecutors in 3 Wisconsin counties missed.
But I am sincerely and humbly sorry.
A seemingly remorseful David Ward pled to a felony theft charge in November. Ward took $12,000 from a Winnebago County couple for contracting work he never even started.
What's the prior record here?
Prosecutor Anthony Prekop told the judge Ward has 1 prior conviction, a misdemeanor in Ozaukee County, but added he got a lot of calls from people about Ward's so-called contracting business.
I don't know his business background. I don't know his business practices. Other than what I've seen in this case, I don't know how widespread this is.
Ward got off with probation here in Winnebago County, but we dug into his past and found he has a lot more than just a misdemeanor on his record. The con actually started 2 decades ago here in Illinois. In Pekin, victims say Pastor Dave ran the same scam using a different name.
He went by Buck Ward.
We tracked down some of Ward's Illinois victims and started compiling mugshots and court records. We discovered Ward's crimes span across central Illinois, dating back to the 90s. It's always the same story.
He was very knowledgeable, very charming.
Very charming, very pleasant, seemed like he knew what he was doing.
Ward claims to be a contractor trying to start up a new business. He takes money and then takes off. In 1998, he was convicted of forgery and home repair fraud in Woodford County, Illinois. In 1999, he was convicted of 3 felonies in McLean County. That same year in Tazewell County, Ward was convicted on several more felony counts. He was sentenced to 3 years, but after serving his time, he was back at it.
It kind of makes me panicky thinking about it.
In 2001, Ward took thousands from Cora.
All calls were, no longer answered, and we now had a big mess and lots of damage to our home and our down payment gone.
That same year, Linda Cameron gave Ward a deposit for new windows and then never heard from him.
It seems to me like he's established quite a lengthy pattern of doing the same thing, and the consequences don't seem to bother him.
Linda and Cora both won civil suits, but Ward never gave them a penny. In 2002, Ward was convicted again in Tazewell County on 7 more felony counts, and this time one of his victims included an 86-year-old man. Ward was sentenced to 7.5 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections, and after he got out, he still didn't stop.
I think it's kind of one of those things where a leopard doesn't change his spots.
Ward moved to Wisconsin, where he started calling himself Pastor Dave, a pastor and horse trainer who runs a contracting company, Man of Steel Roofing.
He was really charming and starting up a new business. We thought we'd help him out.
We told Linda Wackles, Ward's Winnebago County victim, what we uncovered.
David Ward has over 12 felony convictions in the state of Illinois.
12. And this guy is still out there doing the same thing?
The Winnebago and Ozaukee County prosecutors who handled Ward's 2 Wisconsin cases tell CBS 58 they didn't know about Ward's Illinois convictions, but declined to comment further.
Somebody didn't do their homework very well.
That is upsetting. If that was known when we were in court with him, I would think that the judge would see that this guy is a habitual offender and maybe would have sent him to prison right away.
We gave Ward multiple chances to explain himself. On our first attempt, no one came to the door, and when we went back the next day, he had put up no trespassing signs, so we asked for comment from public property. Mr. Ward? Ward hid behind a tree and took our picture. We finally did reach him over the phone.
I have no comment.
Ward's attorney also declined to comment.
He needs to be stopped and he needs to be put away.
Ward has 1 more open case in Waukesha County, and we found out that prosecutors there also didn't know about these Illinois convictions, but now because of this investigation, they are revising his plea deal.
But he does have a court date coming up in Waukesha soon?
He does. He's going to be back in court on Monday, and of course we're going to be there, so look for another report coming up Monday night right here at 10 p.m.
Looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Kristen. If you have a story tip or would like the CBS 58 Investigates team to help you, contact them by sending an email to newsdesk@cbs58.com.